but we were only on our first topic, so let's just
Did it record anything?
No.
Let's hell dive into it.
Let's hell dive into it. That's a good pun. I'm going to steal that here in just a second.
A few moments later.
I'm upset, guys. I'm really upset. Let's just go ahead and hell dive right into it. Let's just do...
What a great pun, Major. How did you think of that?
I could not tell you.
Wow, Major, did you just snipe that pun?
3, 2...
Dum 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 dum. Dum dum. Dum 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 dum. Dum 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 dum. So dumb. Dum 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 da dum.
Hey everyone. Welcome to Zeitgeist Zealots. Happy Cinco de Mayo. I'm Forrest.
I'm Major, and may the 4th be with you.
Oh, yeah. And now I'm
No,
Robbie.
it's Cinco de Mayo. It's the 5th. So it's
Revenge
Revenge
of
of
the
the 5th.
Fifth?
Revenge of the 5th, yeah.
Yeah.
Matt.
Yeah, and then there's also
Matt
someone
is here
named Tip,
too.
probably. What's up, everyone?
I'm
How are you doing?
Thomas.
Wow, you're right. There is a bunch of holidays we have to
God dang it,
celebrate.
Major.
Oh,
Let's throw them all out there at the beginning.
yeah. Comment down below. What do you think is the stupidest holiday? Is it like National Burrito Day? Is it National...
That might be the greatest holiday.
Oh, yeah?
What you're
Yeah.
talking about.
Women's Appreciation Month? I'm kidding, guys.
It's not a holiday. It's more just like an era.
I'm just trying to troll for engagement because I'm upset, guys. I'm really upset. Let's just go ahead and hell dive right into it. Let's just
Wow,
do...
what a great pun, Major. How did you think of that?
I could not tell you.
Wow, Major, did you just snipe that pun?
I feel like you guys are calling me out, and I don't appreciate joke stealing. My name is not Carlos Mencia, and you are not Joe Rogan. Fine, sure.
Carlos Mangia. Or Majora. So, yeah, tell us about this Helldivers fiasco.
It's Maher. First off, thank you very much. Guys, we're hard. This is we don't simp for nobody at this channel. But if we would, we'd be simping for Helldivers too. We have been gushing over this game. We love it. It's
doing so good.
It's
Like,
the
you've
most
seen
fun since
seen
Halo
the
3.
ratings now.
Awful.
Since the whole thing with Sony.
Oh man, what a 180. As we should. We need to stand up, Helldivers. Like normal, we need to fight fascists and spread managed democracy, aka downvoting the hell out of Helldivers because of this decision. Rob, you wanna go into the details about why we Cape dwellers are so upset right now?
Yeah, the master race is mad.
And we're canceled. That's it. We're talking about Super Earth. For the record, Super Earth Master Race is mad, and that is because Sony's being slippery.
Now they've made it so they require a PlayStation sign-in. A PlayStation account to sign in as well.
Which is how many dollars a year?
It's free.
Yeah, it's free.
Last episode, I literally just ranted about how annoying it was to have to get a 2K account when I got WWE 2K24. I just want to put the game in and start playing. Again, I had to register. Sony has one of the weakest security networks of all time. So the fact that you are forced to sign up for a PlayStation network basically forces you to have your data stolen. I have to say, I am very disappointed. Like the last couple.
Well,
it does screw those who can't even get a PlayStation account in their country.
So it's screwed. Yeah,
that's the main issue.
That's the
but that they're working on.
And then respectfully, I disagree. I think the main issue is the principle here. We need to take a stand, even if you're in one of the 69 regions that you can still play Helldivers. The fact that Sony changed their frequently asked questions and they changed their fine print from it's optional to link your PC account to a PSN account, and now it's required for some games. They switched the fine print after people spent actual money buying the game.
Yeah,
now,
that was kind of a sleazy part there, but from the beginning, it did show that. That's why it seemed like there wasn't really much people could do from when I first heard about it was because at the start it did show that they would require a third-party app. They just didn't from the beginning. Right. Now they're announcing they're going to require it. But then, like you were saying in the FAQs.
So what you're talking about is how they initially rolled this out. They said that there was a grace period. Like, this was always going to be required, but this is a grace period because of the servers or whatever.
It's like they had some kind of issues at launch or something.
With the server capacity. And then a community manager said that this helped them ban players more easily. And then someone clapped back and was like, so you couldn't ban players before?
Some of the attitude of some of the
community managers are turning into crisis managers.
For Joel, he knows how to take everything there.
I will say this, people throw out the word bait and switch all the time.
Mm-hmm.
This is clearly one of these examples, because remember when they first launched, what I really attracted me to this game, even though I have yet to play it, was the response from the developers, how proactive they were. They even said, hey, if you're not willing to play something buggy, wait.
Yeah,
wait a few weeks, and we'll get it better.
Yeah, and they were really just straight up about everything.
We see a response from a developer on Twitter today. I forget his name, but somebody said, I can't play because I don't have PlayStation Network in my country. What do I do? And all the responses like,
I don't know.
Yeah, he says, damn, I don't know.
Yeah.
So tell me that this was not, this is not Helldivers.
They don't.
Sony.
They don't really have any control over this.
Here's the question.
Here's the thing, though, really quick, just to finish this thought.
Yeah.
Sony has so many games on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the very minuscule percentage that require PSN now.
I think, it became a very popular game, and I see it as they could use it to just look at all these new PlayStation accounts we got now.
Let's talk about the why.
So it's the accounting manager needing to get his bonus, therefore he needs to sow a surge in new membership. So that way,
look at all these new members we have.
Oh, it's tied to a bonus for sure. But it's also, I think, getting a foot in the door. If you already have a PlayStation Network, right? You already have your first step into the PlayStation ecosphere. That is one step closer than you've ever been to buying a PlayStation. So I think you're also making these PC players, right? Or you're slowly entrapping them, or not entrapping, but you're shifting the weights, right? For these PC gamers about the next console they're going to get, because maybe they don't have Gamer Pass from Microsoft, but they already have a PlayStation Network, so they might be slightly more inclined to get a PlayStation than they were before.
I would, to quickly rebut, I think this is really Sony seeing where the console war is going, and kind of doing what Microsoft is starting to pivot to do.
Oh, PC being the master race, not Super Earth. Oh, my bad. I hear master race, and like the editor in me is like, oh shit! Like
Sony doesn't make computers, do they?
No, the PC master race. You aren't familiar with that, Major?
Well, I am, but these are different.
That wasn't your first thought.
These are tumultuous times now. Yes, unfortunately, we have gone from being able to call everyone on the internet Hitler to being able to call half the people on the streets Hitler. So, yeah, sorry, I thought you were talking about a different master race. No, PC. All hail the Ram.
All right, so what's next in the docket?
Guys, the Russo brothers. So if we're not done picking bones, I'm not done picking bones either. The Russo brothers came out in an interview recently and blamed TikTok brain for the MCU's most recent failures, stating that we just don't have the attention span to hang on to these movies anymore. To wit, I say that's insulting. That's denigrating, and that's definitely not true. Like, we watched Oppenheimer, Barbie.
That's a long-ass movie.
There's so many great movies. What we don't want to watch.
Dune 2 was like 2.5 hours, right?
2, right? 14.
Dune 2 was so much. That was worth it.
14 pee breaks. Okay, so my dad texted me. He said, he texted me. He said, "Is Dune 2 worth seeing in theaters?" And I hold the impression that the worst thing you can do to Dune 2 right now is overpraise it. If you overhype it and someone hasn't seen it yet, right? Like you're just gonna build that. It's such enough. It's a 9 out of 10. It's such a phenomenal movie. Just tell people to go see it. So I told my dad, I was like, all I'm telling you is go see it. If you can, go see it in IMAX. Now the problem with this is that it was leaving theaters. So I haven't heard from my dad, and then 2 weeks later, I get just a text message from him in the IMAX theater about to see Dune 2. ... It better be worth it. He went to California. He went to California to watch this movie. I think he might.
Oh, and you can actually go to the desert and watch it.
I think he might have. Yeah, he could watch it in real time. I think he might have had business out there or something like that. But
I would hope so.
But it is such an American dream idea. Theaters. Hey.
Although I did start reading the book again.
If we didn't create 80% of the money in circulation in the last 3 years, plane tickets probably could be very affordable with as much gas and oil as we're pumping out. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to just take a weekend trip across the country for $150 round trip? Wouldn't that be nice? But anyway, guys, so the Russo brothers are wrong here.
If we're talking about TikTok brain, though, maybe the issue with these movies is the writers having TikTok brain and not being able to do anything.
The TikTok brain is getting into the makers.
Yeah.
I love that. No, I think you might actually be spot on to something, including these guys, because they went on to say that they want to make their own Star Wars. Full stop, right there. I'll guarantee you this project is dead in the water. Oh, they want to make their own Star Wars, right? Not like a Star Wars. They want to make their own Star Wars.
Oh, we got that with Rebel Moon.
So. Well, yeah, but these are different directors, right? What some might argue in the comment section down below, more talented directors with the Russo brothers.
I say yeah. I say
this project's dead in the water because, as I've said before, and I'll say it again, if you set out to replicate something great, it's just going to be an imitation, and it's never going to be as good. If the Russo brothers, who are truly talented, they cut their teeth with Community and the paintball scenes, if the Russo brothers just set out to create something truly great, then the audience would decide if it's great, and if it is great, they'll make it the next Star Wars. So again, instead of trying to become the next Star Wars, make something great, and if the market loves it, it'll be the next Star Wars, which is really what happened with Coast to Coast. I don't know if you guys knew this, but we're celebrating its 30th year anniversary from Adult Swim. You guys remember that show growing up?
Oh, Space Goes Coast to Coast?
Space Goes Coast to Coast?
Bracket's my favorite.
Bracket's the best. He's so great. I thought it would have been really fun for all of us to sit down on YouTube right now. Adult Swim is just airing episodes to honor the 30th anniversary. But I did a little bit more research before we decided to sit down and record this. Did you know the fucking creator is a delivery driver now for Amazon?
No.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What's his name?
I didn't look it up. He doesn't make enough money to get credits.
Coast to Coast was dead.
Look,
it's like C. Martin Croker or Roker, I think. Like he was the voice of Zorak, but he died.
Brax? No, Zorak. No, I'm just telling you the research I did. I looked up Coast to Coast. The creator is now a delivery driver from Amazon because he was so screwed over by Adult Swim and royalties. So
he's probably making six figures, dude.
Not be endorsing it. Oh, okay. Well, he's making that sweet Amazon delivery. No, if he wanted to make real money, he'd go to that UPS. With that union.
With that UPS route.
And then, last but not least, and this isn't something we normally cover, but Bill Maher's podcast is so boring, and Jerry Seinfeld is so insufferable during interviews that I know none of the listeners are gonna.
Wait, Ben Morse, you said?
Bill Maher.
Oh, okay. I thought you said because I was listening to a podcast by Ben Morse.
I don't know who's
like,
Wait, he had what's Bill Maher's podcast like?
Club Random.
He thinks he's the smartest man in the room and is talking down to you the whole time.
It's
that
so
is Bill
awful.
Maher.
It's so smug. He is the strongest voice on the left party, though, right? And he's the most sane too. So you have to respect. Yes.
He actually had a documentary. I want to say it might have been 10, 15 years ago now, called like Religiosity or something ridiculous. Like
Religulous.
And it is one of the worst documentaries
I believe
if you want to make your point. Because all he does is he finds the most ridiculous person, talks down to them, and then records himself talking down to them. And that's it. That's the whole movie.
Well,
so he's never making a point. He's never like trying to counteract. He just, talks down to them.
Yeah,
and he's wrong.
interviewing the actor who plays Jesus. And the actor playing Jesus is trying to be so nice, and Bill Maher just being a complete dick to him.
Yeah, I believe it.
I didn't see that.
No, I mean, Bill Maher is a complete dick. He smoked in front of Candace Owens while she was like 8 months pregnant. 8 months pregnant. She came on the podcast. If I was Mr. Owens, I would have punched the shit out of him. Yeah, he smoked the whole time. And there's a thing with like Steve-O wanted to go, Club Random with Bill Maher reached out to Steve-O and asked Steve-O to be a guest on there. Steve-O's got a podcast in a van that no one watches. Well, sorry, I don't watch. And Steve-O wanted to go on, but Bill Maher said, Steve-O said his sobriety is very important to him, obviously, and asked if Bill could not smoke in front of him, and Bill Maher refused. Which is his personal right? If he wants to get high during his podcast, that's his fucking right, and it's Steve-O's right to deny everything. But like, if you really wanted to have Steve on your podcast, if you really want to have like an actual conversation with him, then yeah, maybe don't smoke pot in front of him for an hour and a half, and you could have a really fascinating conversation with this guy. Especially because Bill Maher claims to be the guy who doesn't smoke pot every day. Right? He just smokes it when he wants to. But anyway, I know we have a bunch of comedy fans out there. And these two are both just so insufferable. So I wanted to drop that out, that Bill Maher, even though I don't think his stand-up's that funny, he did tell Jerry Seinfeld this will probably be his last year of doing stand-up. So if that's something on your bucket list to see, be aware.
It's probably going to charge like an arm and a leg, so I don't think he's that funny, like you said. So I will not. If he comes, the comedians that come to, they don't come like... well, when they come to where we live, if they're at this smaller venue, I'm not going to go. But
Charlotte gets good stuff, dude.
I just edited that out.
Charlotte.
Oh yeah.
And then we'll repeat it again. Yeah, no, say it 3 times so I can spend an extra 5.
Detroit.
Detroit's got great comedy. Austin's got a growing comedy scene. Not North Dakota. Those guys can't take a joke.
Fargo might have a few clubs.
You know who else has some clubs? Not Gambit, because he's dead. Let's segue into X-Men, guys.
That's nice. That was very nice.
Thank you.
Damn.
Well, he's been dead, so that's an old joke.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, it's X-Men 97. This was the part 1 of a 3-part finale. What tolerance is extinction? And
talk about TikTok brain. You're absolutely right. Last episode, you were talking about how these used to be 5-parters, and now it's 3. I think Matt just connected the missing piece here. TikTok brain. Also, guys, did you see X-Men is asking is looking for a new writer? Cough, cough. People on this staff here at Zeitgeist Zealots. Do you think we should apply as a team? To write the 3rd season of X-Men. However, one of the requirements is being able to write strong female characters. Not great storylines or being intimate with the X-Men details. Being able to write strong X-Men, being able to write strong female characters.
Well, I strongly think they're going to adapt Age of Apocalypse next season because they've been teasing Apocalypse, but he hasn't shown up this season. And that's like a major storyline from the 90s that hasn't been adapted. I don't think they adapted it in the animated series. I think the animated series ended when they did Age of Apocalypse. But that seems like a good...
for Gambit to come back.
What was that?
Yes, as the fourth horseman.
Would allow Gambit to come back because it goes back to a new world because Legion goes back, kills Professor X.
Yes.
New World, Magneto takes over. And then you have Gambit and the Externals. You have Weapon X. You
can't. And these pussies will never kill off anyone in the mainline universe. So this makes perfect sense. This is how they bring back Gambit. I mean, Magneto's not dead, guys. I was talking about how heartbroken I was. Magneto's next episode. Embarrassed, egg on my face. Not dead at Magneto. All. There's Magneto.
Well, Magneto.
Yeah, I knew
went
Magneto
full
wasn't dead.
Avengers. Remember the Avengers? Like all the Chitauri died when they blew up the mothership, and I was like, that's so stupid. That's just like lazy. But they pulled like that for this end of this episode. Like all the Prime Sentinels die because Magneto releases a pulse or something. Although you would think the Sentinels are
Cable released
where they would not be.
You talking about Cable releasing the EMP?
No. Magneto released like an electromagnetic pulse that killed all the Sentinels. But
yes.
These Sentinels are supposed to be so advanced, they would know not to use metal, so Magneto can't affect them. Because he's like the most powerful mutant on Earth, or one of them. So
but you don't understand the industrial.
Clearly not as advanced as they were hyped to be.
You don't understand the military-industrial complex. They have contracts with Big Steel. So they have to use Big Steel when they're making big military weapons.
In the end of season 1 of the original series, like they literally had plastic Sentinels that Magneto couldn't kill. I mean, he could pick up a ship and throw at them, but he couldn't control the Sentinels.
Maybe they ran out of those for us.
I guess they ran out of plastic. There's a plastic shortage.
Yeah, they ran out of it. Like shit.
So that was kind of like a lazy writing to me, but overall, like a good episode. I thought like the chase. Well, I think all the fight scenes like Nightcrawler and Wolverine, and plus like Scott, Jean, and Cable, those were great to look at.
Yeah. What about the cameos? Spider-Man? Did anyone care about that, or was it too soon after Captain America?
Oh yeah, Captain America is probably the more interesting one. Although, that was like the episode 4.
Well, that's why I'm comparing the two.
Time.
Yeah, that's why. Who do you think we're going to see next week? Iron Man.
Well, we saw Dr. Doom. Oh wait. Oh, who cares? About her.
Who, Matt?
I think. Are we at the '90s cartoon Iron Man?
I think so, because they're not going to waste Robert Downey Jr. on an animated series. No. Yeah, I think they're going to get the '90s Iron Man coming back next week. If so, you have to come back to Zeitgeist Zealots and subscribe to the channel because I might be on fire.
See the next episode.
We'll see.
Well, other cameos this episode: Dr. Doom, Baron Zemo.
Yeah, Dr. Doom. That was really big.
Yeah.
Cable, Rachel Summers, and Reverend Stryker. Interesting.
Oh yeah, he was in the episode for a few minutes or seconds. Sunspot's mom was like, "You can't tell him when you're a mutant," and they like just burst into like the building in his mutant form.
Whoopsies!
Nice.
Yeah, talk about that teenage rebellion.
Their stock's gonna tumble, or it could go up. Who knows?
Yeah, it just depends on if they are if Larry Fink is there with BlackRock to do DEI initiatives in the X-Men '97 universe. If do you think mutant on every board of directors, and I think that'd probably be good representation.
Well, do you think New Mutant spinoff is in the future if they're going to keep like having Sunspot be a major character?
Yeah, I think they're going to try to. I don't think this Disney.
If you could fly.
Disney's not killing this train anytime soon. They will slug through this, and if the content's going to be this good, if my conspiracy theory is correct, and they purposefully tanked the last phase, then I say bring on all the spinoffs.
Yeah. Well, Wolverine finally did something this episode. He actually got the claws out, and I thought the episode the moment while he's falling. Yeah, so that's pretty sweet.
Fine, it's the Prime Sentinel.
Yeah, so the Prime Sentinels are from the comics. So this is like the name of like the event was like Operation Zero Tolerance in the comics.
Yeah, OZT.
An adaptation. Yep, OZT. So
you talked about that last week. The whole episode, I was like, oh, we talked about this last week. Oh, we get that one right too. Oh, yes, we were right about that. Oh, good job, Matt. Matt was right about that. I was like, yo, watching this episod, I was like, yo, we nailed it on the last podcast. Go team.
Everything that was going to happen.
Team. Not all of it. I mean, it wasn't like a spoiler. It didn't take away from my enjoyment, but I was like, oh, wow, like that actually is happening. Like that was really fun. I really enjoyed it.
The Professor X brain.
Oh yeah, he showed up at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Not dead. Womp womp. That's gonna be hard to explain.
Was that too late?
So, I guess the girl, the anchor woman who liked Beast, didn't really like him. She just, or did she know she was Prime Sentinel? I wasn't sure how that worked because
I don't
guess she
think
like
these
dip
guys
herself.
know.
I guess they don't know until it's active.
Well, no, because they're going into the tub like still human, and then they're hit with like nanotechnology.
And then he said they have no memory of.
Oh, okay. Maybe she didn't
What?
know. But...
What about the protesters outside of the X Mansion when some of them turned into Prime Sentinels and then some of them were just regular humans and then they like freaked out? They're like, "Whoa, who the hell is I protesting next to?" Yeah, I was like, this guy just drew robot legs and fucking just blasted off into space. I thought like, yeah, that's who are you protesting with?
Robot
That's a great.
legs?
Yeah. They they had rocket booster packs coming out of their feet.
I want
Iron
that.
Man boosters.
So, Jean Grey,
Be
she seems
dangerous.
to be coming around to Scott. They seem to be warming back up. So that's nice.
She's my favorite, dude. I love Jean Grey.
They're bonding.
Don't mess with the Summers.
No, right?
Or was it?
Yeah, that's what they said. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that is what he said. It was a good episode. I really enjoyed it.
I was sad that Cable didn't use his telekinesis. I mean, I guess he does mainly use his guns. I was wondering, like, can he not use his telekinesis because that, like, makes the techno-organic virus in his system reactivate? Or I wasn't sure if that's like, because I think in the old cartoon he did use his telekinesis.
It sounds like a plot line from a comic book series. I'm not sure if it's this animated series, so that's a good question. Because why isn't he using it? Matt, do you have any insight?
What do you think?
That requires a deep dive.
Yeah.
It depends on the
Hell
run.
dive.
Matt dive.
Maybe Ultimate X-Men. Who knows? Which I don't. Was Cable in Ultimate X-Men? I guess no one has read it. So, what is going to happen next week if all the Prime Sentinels are dead?
So Magneto's going to. Did he already declare war, or is he going to declare war?
There's going to be more
again?
Prime Sentinels.
Okay, that's probably
round 2.
Happen. That are immune to the electromagnetic pulse, or he might just not use it again. That would be like the lazier thing to do.
The Kree appear and do some shenanigans.
Or the Shi'ar.
Actually, yeah. So Magneto declares war, and then Professor X comes back just in time to talk him down from destroying the human race. That's exactly what's going to happen. That's so X-Men.
Okay. And is Bastion going to die?
No. Bastion is going to barely escape with his life, and we'll see him in the next season with Apocalypse.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, so what else happened this episode? Well, I guess like Bastion, we learned his backstory.
Yeah.
Where basically his dad was infected with nanotechnology from the future, like from Nimrod. But he's like part Master Mold, part Nimrod.
And he's just trying to enslave the mutants. That's his big plan.
Yeah, and humans too.
Apparently, that's what happened in the future.
All of them.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we learned more about his mom became a Prime Sentinel.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm trying to remember this episode. I tried to rewatch it today before the podcast, and it wouldn't, like, X-Men 97 just wouldn't load on the Disney Plus app. But while I was looking for it, I noticed that there was a fully naked man on my Disney Plus app on the top banner. Fully naked, profile side view.
Whoa.
Yeah, like
what was the movie?
Full. I couldn't tell you. All I saw was ass cheek. Right, no dong, of course, but just on my Disney Plus app.
Ruined.
Yeah, like what is happening? Are they just that? Like, why would they pick that of all the content or that? Yeah, advertise that show, but don't do that image. Yeah, keep that. I know it's I'm sure it's a Hulu Plus.
Is it a live action Assy McGee?
I'm sure it's some kind of Hulu Plus show or whatever. But like, pick a different graphic for Disney Plus. Like, this is absolutely ridiculous, if not self-sabotage. Matt,
I'm sure
what would happen if one of your kids opened up and saw the contestant, saw this? Just, can you guys see that at all? Just a naked man?
I think my daughter would giggle and then point it out and laugh.
It's a butt.
My son would just scroll right by it without even realizing it was a thing.
But how would you feel? Yeah, I know kids don't care. How would you feel? We're talking about parents. Kids don't subscribe to the podcast. Parents subscribe to the podcast.
So I share the issue I have is I kind of liked how everything was walled.
Yes.
In the first place, like I kind of liked how Disney was only Disney, Hulu was all the shows, and then ESPN was all the sports.
Even ESPN.
And now it's yeah. And now it's not. And
all trying
you
to
run into
branch
issues
out.
like this. Yeah, it's frustrating as a parent trying to because what happens is it takes all the shows I watch on Hulu, which is like Shogun, and tries to advertise these similar shows on Disney, which is for the kids. It's maddening, but also too, as a side note, it's maddening to navigate now. It is beyond maddening. Yeah. My kids wanted to watch this stupid movie the other night, and we were trying to find it through Disney, and it's just like next to impossible now.
Yeah, it's almost unusable. It's absolutely a terrible user experience, and it feels like they're tanking it on purpose. And I mean, if my conspiracy theory is right, and they tanked the last phase of the MCU, if they're going to tank billions of dollars in profits, then maybe they're tanking their stupid user interface on Disney Plus with all this garbage, and then inundating the apps, and then just filling it with I don't want to be like that person, but smut. I don't know what else to call it, but it's smut.
Not to play into the conspiracy theory here, but I think you've seen already, especially with like Netflix and kind of now with Hulu, this making their platform really poor and then charging for a better tier, quote unquote. And what ends up happening is, as we've seen with Netflix this week, they got rid of their most basic tier. So it's a way to charge you more money for supposedly more experience, while they slowly kill off all the stuff that used to pay $4.99 a month
content.
for.
I hate it.
I mean, look at what Disney Plus costs. The yearly subscription of Disney Plus is almost doubled. Oh, you froze?
No, I'm good.
No. Did we? Okay. Good.
No,
okay. Look at
Robbie. I think Robbie's cat attacked him.
Yearly subscription of Disney Plus cost 2 years ago. Look at what Netflix cost 2 years ago,
right?
And then look at what we're paying now. So for instance, I get it free through T-Mobile. T-Mobile's awesome. Well, now this year T-Mobile is like, oh, we're knocking you down a branch, so that way you don't get any of the new release movies. You have to watch commercials during a movie, which is very jarring when you're into like a really good movie, and then some commercial about whatever disease, your Crohn's is acting up. Boo-hoo. It's like, I was just in this, great movie. What's going on now? So I think it is kind of purposely making their platform worse so they can charge you more for a quote-unquote better experience. So that way they can shove more ads down your throat. I hate it. Piracy is great. All hail piracy.
Now, let me ask you this two-parter, because you bring out great points. One, because this trend is only going to continue. Companies are only more greedy, right? Ads are only going to get longer, right? We used to have one ad before YouTube or any kind of video. Now there's two ads or 6 ads.
Yeah, even like a 5-second ad for like a 10-second video on YouTube. I want to watch like a short clip.
My kid
Go ahead.
Sent me a YouTube short, a 49-second video, and it had 2 15-second commercials before I could watch a 49-second video.
Get out of here. That is, I thought I had the most infuriating example, but that actually takes the cake for sure. I was gonna say, have you guys ever had to watch a movie trailer before, like as an ad before you're trying to watch the movie trailer on? It's like, dude, it hurts my head so fucking bad. So first part to that, as this trend continues,
they've gotten me so tempted to get YouTube Premium that I haven't given in yet.
Resist.
I've been using ad blockers to resist, really.
But that's the whole point. Now they're trying to block ad blockers, so you can't use certain.
Because they want you to buy their
things.
premium.
Yeah, so they make their experience worse, so that way you buy the premium quote unquote content, which is what they used to offer all of 2 years ago. But anyways, Major, 2 questions.
Yes. So my first question: as this trend continues, and as corn addiction gets worse, and as corn gets better,
damn corn
with AI generation, right? So like there's a lot of corn on the internet, and it's all free. So would you rather spend $30 that you don't have to buy Netflix, or are you just going to go on Cornhub instead? That's my first rhetorical question for everyone at home to think about as we plow forward.
Really quick.
Yeah.
I live literally in a border town of a state that requires, whenever you want to access corn, that you need to be verified that you're 18. You have to upload a facial picture of your driver's license.
No.
I'm not even in the state, but because I border it, it pings me as living in the state, so I cannot get my weekly content of corn because the websites I use all now require age verification.
Dude, that makes me so mad. If I had to show government issued ID to watch corn, I would only watch Obama Palin parody corn videos from 2008.
What was it back in the day when you had to go through those beads or something? The video store before it's all online.
Mm-hmm. So first off, VPN searches are through the roof around here, which is hilarious. So it does nothing to actually prevent the issue. Does nothing to protect children. Only makes it harder to access.
Yeah,
and,
for 50-year-olds. Yeah, these 15-year-old kids are still going to get to corn no matter what. These 50-year-old men who are just trying to eat their vegetables because their wives don't sleep with them anymore, or you're making it harder for these 50 and 60-year-old men.
But the unintended consequence is people are going to go to sites, A, that are malicious, that can hurt them, but B, that tend to be more loosey-goosey, we'll say, with the rules, and probably have potential issues.
Yeah, bad stuff.
So we're not diverting people away from it. We're diverting them towards worse stuff.
It's like free speech, right? The more you stifle free speech is the more you push it into these dark, seedy corners, these echo chambers, and the worse these bad thoughts get, right? The best way to fight bad speech is with good speech. So put bad speech in the open and let good people argue that.
My friends are always baffled when I say, let the racists be in town square and spew their hate speech.
Yeah.
Because you know what? I know who the racists are.
You'll know who the racists
are. Be like, I do not want to associate with that individual.
You'll know.
I lived up north for a while.
Let them just be in the background, unknown.
Up north, there's a lot of these closet racists that you're at the bar one night having a few beers, and you're like, holy shit, dude, you are racist.
I had no idea you thought that. Yeah. Oh, only 6 years in. Only 6 years in do I get like this. Awful. Point 2. This is not politics. This is television. RFK is going after Big Pharma. If and when he does win, and he goes after Big Pharma ad spending, right, which was 74% of ad revenue for television last year, is TV going to collapse, right? If we make it illegal to air 74% of the ads on network television.
I wonder if other advertisements would fill in the blank.
I would argue there's definitely just going to be
Or are they just going to be? I feel like there's definitely going to be a drop for a minute there.
Rob, great point. But was it you, Major, who sent a link to us recently? It might have been in another group, but talking about how in 2003 or 2004 was the height of the .com kind of advertisements during the Super Bowl. And of the 15 companies that advertised during that Super Bowl that were .com, only 2 exist currently. The other 13 either are gone or have been bought out or have been bought out again. So I would just treat it like that.
Yep.
In the early aughts, you had everything was .com. When .com erased, something filled its void. So I would pleasantly say no, but I'd be a lot happier because I don't want to hear about anal leakage if I take a pill and try to explain that to my kids as my daughter giggles about the word, anal leakage.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like, we're like one of the only 2 like free countries that have pharmaceutical advertisements, and then 2, it's like, why am I asking?
I didn't even know
my
about that
doctor.
for a long time.
Why am I asking my doctor about this medicine? He knows my condition. Shouldn't he be telling me about this medicine?
Right. So this is something I never got the point of either. Right? I go to my doctor for a reason.
Yeah.
I have this condition, and I go to a specific doctor for a reason. I get it with like so there's some like the something
Botox.
Means everything.
Yeah.
There's the ones where it's like almost like plastic surgery. It's like make your skin look better.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. But when it's like, do you have type A heart atheroid?
Do you have HIV?
Cancer, do you have this type of very specific condition that maybe only affects 1 in a million people?
Right.
It's like,
why? Why is this on the air? It
baffles me. I
have a conspiracy theory that I literally just was thinking about / influence from today. Listen to Bobby F. Kennedy's new YouTube video he just put out, 30 minutes. I mean, the production quality, 30 minutes is a big ask, right, for a political ad, but the production quality is Sundance Festival. Very good. One of our friends said he got an erection 8 minutes left of the video. So talk about feeling it in the heartstrings. But here's this theory for you. They advertise these drugs not because they're actually advertising the drugs, but because they're pouring money into television stations. And this is how you buy influence. You buy influence through ads, and pharmaceutical companies don't want you to know how bad these drugs are. So they control the news and they control the media. And how they do that is through money. And how they give the media money? Ads. So you get ads from AstraZeneca and Pfizer and Moderna and Johnson & Johnson.
I always felt the conspiracy was that the ads are actually a lost leader. It's the same thing like Red Lobster wants you to come in for their endless shrimp because they think that you'll bring a friend who won't want endless shrimp. Leaders. And I feel like using the ads are a way to justify overcharging for cancer medication, for diabetes medication, for like stuff, like
you
why
kill
does
2 birds
it cost
this sounds like you kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Mm-hmm. So, we have to justify it because our budget's this to produce it. Well, what's included in the production? Oh, these ads for, skin cancer medication.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. You want to have an aneurysm?
So I always felt that.
Just check.
Really shows you how much we enjoyed the X-Men episode.
Well, so we're going to be honest here, full disclosure. I didn't take any notes, and we left it up to Grok this week. And I'm not going to lie, these Grok notes were a little thin. And again,
I could have asked it for a little more.
The X-Men, I couldn't rewatch the X-Men video, and then all I could watch was a very naked man on Disney Plus. Well, I was just bottle feeding my daughter, but it's a slippery slope. I've got it written down here, but more so for Helldivers, but this is a slippery slope, and if we don't start taking stands ASAP, right? We're gonna end up 50 episodes from now asking what the hell happened. And then one of our faithful YouTube viewers will
hopefully
be like,
50 episodes from now, X-Men 97 Season 2 will be airing.
Oh.
Let's hope it's like 50 episodes, like an episode a week. That's almost a year, so.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
Yeah.
Hopefully. You hear that, ladies? He knows the maths.
So, looking forward to the next 2 episodes. Obviously, probably more Prime Sentinels are going to come back.
Yes.
Because it seems like the main threat's been, like, averted, but, Bastion's still around, but we'll just see what happens.
Yes,
but, that's our show. Any final thoughts on X-Men?
I am really enjoying the season. The pace has been great. The action's been fantastic. The dialogue has been 90s clunky, which I love. So I'm really enjoying it. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely gotten better. I wasn't crazy about the first few episodes, but yeah, I think it's pretty strong, and they're definitely faithful to the comics. This is definitely not wanting to change things so much like the movies do.
Yeah.
Or at least like in the I mean, I can't think of any like major changes in the comics, but at least like the changes in the movies like are just like nonsensical, or they're not improvements. I don't mind changing things, just like there should be logic behind it beyond, hey, it should be different because it's a movie.
This guy sounds bitter about the black leather over yellow leather suits that they had to wear.
Yeah. Although, yeah. All right, well, that's our show. Forrest?
I'm gonna plug some shit first, guys. You can find us on YouTube at Zeitgeist Zealots, Instagram Zeitgeist Zealots, but we're also on X and TikTok as Z Zealots.
To the
Podcast.
Russo's brother's chagrin.
That's right, guys. I mean, we're shadow banned on TikTok, so good for them, right? That touche. Karma for the Russo brothers. They clapped back very quickly with that. We are shadow banned, but we're blowing up on Instagram. Hello to all of our new followers on YouTube. We had a video where we all sat down and listened to albeit a CNN reporter. He had Scott Galloway on, and they talked about the state of male loneliness and some of the reasons why. So that video did really well for us on the channel. A lot of great interactions. We got a bunch of new subs from that as well. So hello to you guys. And let us know, comment down below if you want us to do more videos like that. I just watched Scott Galloway give a TED Talk today, basically about the transfer of wealth, how we are taking away the enhanced child tax credit and increasing Social Security. So we are robbing young Americans to pay to line the pockets of older, rich-ass retiring Americans. I thought it was good. Probably not good enough for us to record or react to. But if you guys have a video you do want us to react to, leave a comment down below. Find us on X, again, Z Zealots Podcast. Let us know. We'd love to react to it if it's a good video. Thank you so much for joining us. The engagement is so important. Now that we're in the thick of metrics, it really does mean the world to us and the algorithm. If you like, comment, and if you really love us, subscribe. That it would be awesome. Thanks so much, guys.
That's major.
Just remember, the boomers were giving you the trophies to begin with, so fuck that lie.
Fuck them. That's right. Bitching about our participation trophies, who was handing them out? Not the 7-year-olds at bat.